I'm a director.
I'm a director. I direct things. Jim, can you move the camera over this way?
Jim,
Perfect. Jim, come on, man. Turn the ISO up. We can't see us.
I have no perspective on where I am.
Yeah, I should probably check that.
Yeah. Epic.
Okay, Jim, make sure everything's in focus.
Actually, Jim, you should check if we're all in view, aren't we? Yeah, Jim.
No, maybe.
I'm getting the nod. Yep. It seems like we're good. We're all good.
We're all good.
I'm getting the nod.
For now, we'll have the bisexual lighting next week. It's just I want to see how this first one goes with just the normal light, because it's never usually this bright in here.
Yeah.
But considering fancy schmancy new camera, might as well.
Fancy schmancy.
And the best part is we can't even see ourselves.
It's not fancy enough that it can't see me without light.
Oh, yeah. So that's for you.
Ooh.
You know,
they can actually see what that means now.
Yeah, and then whenever we mess around with stuff, ooh, what's this? Ooh.
He's torched me 7 times in the recording. He's cut every single time out. You can see
Matthew actually stab me whenever the mic goes off.
Yeah, just the moment the episode ends, he's just like,
You call that an episode? Oh, yeah.
Good. I want you in the editing bay right now. I want you to mix this entire audio perfectly.
Tone my voice down so it's actually correct.
And I want you to edit a big giant sack where my crotch area should be, because I'm manly.
Oh, yeah. So now that the appeal of video is gone, My Chemical Romance, man.
Oh, yeah, true. Although I'm not going to lie, I'm still kind of appealed by the camera.
Okay, we'll talk about the elephant in the room. Jim.
What a cunt. He never talks to us.
God, another fucking intern.
Yeah, Jim.
But yeah, this is a bit experimental, because I have a new camera, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. It scares me. That camera genuinely terrifies me because it's so advanced. Yeah. It's not like the other camera where you can just point and shoot. No. This one shoots in RAW, which means the entire image is compressed. You can look on the back of that now, and it's bright and colourful. That's because there's a LUT on it. Yeah. But that is the new camera. I said I'd get myself it over a year now, and now that the short film is more or less done, I got it for the podcast.
Hell yeah.
So now,
I mean, technically, we can start a TikTok channel and put clips now.
We could. Cinema quality TikToks.
Yeah, and now they can see me fidget as well.
Oh, and now you can pay us. Send us money.
Dickheads.
Yeah, send us money.
What is $5?
Yeah,
right?
what is...
What's $5
99
to you
cents.
Guys? Think about it.
Irregular podcast.
Think about it.
Comes out whenever it wants.
For food, you can get food for like $10, all right? What's $5 to you, okay?
Shit, almost fell backwards. Thank God that was caught on camera.
We all say this, and then like we get the recording, and it's like
see that red light,
super corrupt.
Yeah, it just corrupts the
yeah.
Because this camera, right, is so powerful, and the files are so big that my 128 gig that I've been using for a while, I have to record something with it, and the highest quality on that, if I put this SD card in there, it would only record for 40 minutes. 128 gigs.
Wow.
And one thing that's frustrating is, like, it's an older camera, but again, it's a cinema camera. Like, it qualifies for cinema level of quality. And we're using it for a podcast.
Is that the one you said you wanted, like, for a while now, where it was to a point where... Or was the last one the one where you got inspired by Bo Burnham to buy?
No. His one is the Lumix S1, which is pretty much like the top of the range of the cameras, but...
okay, right.
That's a cinema camera. Those cameras would be classified as video cameras because they're point and shoot, whereas with this one, there's so much more work you have to do with them in post-production. Yeah. But, yeah, back to my tangents.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
These cameras, because they're so file-heavy, that you have to use an SSD to capture footage, which is sitting on top of the camera there. But because it's an older camera, I think it came out in 2017, that the SSD model best used for it, the Samsung T5, which I got, is discontinued. So the new one, it's a good problem to have, is too fast for the camera, so I had to go searching online, and I found a terabyte version of it there, so...
Nice.
So now, at least the YouTube version, which I definitely didn't upload episode 10 the other day to, or episode 12... But now it actually has...
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Oops. Yeah, the
Whoops.
YouTube part of this podcast kind of gets neglected because
Well, think about it. We actually uploaded it for the Americans. 'Cause
Yeah.
you uploaded that pretty late, so it's like you just pretend it was for the Americans.
yeah, it's just the
Our 12%
release
American
schedules
audience.
and whatnot. And thank you to our 1% Vietnamese listeners. We see you. You can see us now.
Yeah.
But
Does Vietnam
1% of our listeners are from Vietnam.
Yeah, but what I was referring to, what I was going to jump to was Vietnamese has like a king, don't they, or something that like.
Is that Thailand? I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't want to be making accusations that I can't back up.
Oh yeah, maybe we. I was about to make a joke about Vietnam, but then I was like, oh, wait, no, Vietnam's
It's him.
Vietnam's
It's him.
got like all problems, huge
But-
problems, especially with the big U of SA.
Before we talk about My Chemical Romance, we should talk about My Chemical Romance with what's your favorite albums in order?
Albums.
Yeah.
In
Starting
order.
from least favorites to most favorite.
Oh, well, since there's only 4, that's pretty
Yeah.
easy. So, actually, would we count May Death Never Stop You? I know it's a best of, but it technically has.
No, let's just go with the 4.
Okay, fine. Okay, so worst to best.
Yeah.
Bullets, Danger Days, Vengeance, or whatever. What's it? Sweet.
Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge.
Yeah, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, and then Black Parade #1.
With me, it's Danger Days. Not to say it's
Oh,
a bad
really?
album.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just it's so different to the rest that's kind of an outlier. Has banging songs on it,
Yeah,
and then Bullets because it's such a rough album to listen to.
it's
Like,
very garage feeling.
Yeah, it's got banger songs, but it's just so like banger. Yeah, it's so just not underproduced. Like if that album got like remixed today, it'd shoot up.
Oh yeah.
And then
yeah.
for me, it's the Black Parade, then 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge.
Yeah. Or then what people are presuming their new album is going to be called Swarm.
Decay or Swarm. 'Cause I mean, like on this here has Decay backwards because a lot of the merch there was flies, like even on the back.
Although
there's-
I think that's called Decay because of the new song.
yeah, Foundations of Decay, which is a banger of a song. What a hell of a
Yeah,
comeback
yeah.
song.
I do wish though the mixing on that where I'm just like
His vocals were a bit
come on,
more.
Yeah, give me some more vocals. I do feel like they actually did record that during
During touring. when they
during
started.
touring, which is weird. I felt like they recorded it when not on like in a proper studio. It just sounds that to me.
Yeah,
anyways. I mean,
'cause-
I'm not saying it's a bad song because we actually listened to it live and
Yeah.
it was actually very cool live.
It's a very
I-
atmospheric.
And I actually heard him a lot, which I'm like, yay,
Because
the main song I couldn't really.
To take it to the timeline with this concert, we got the tickets 2 years ago or so when it 2019
yeah, it was before
when they announced
yeah.
the reunion and everyone was excited.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then the pandemic happened, reschedules, blah blah blah. But I got so busy with my short film that I completely confused the dates of the concert and the deadline. So I was like to our friend AJ, who went with us to this and got us the tickets. I was like, dude, I don't think I can make it. Sell the ticket.
Hey, he didn't get me the ticket. I got myself.
And so he sends me a message the day before. So this concert is completely out of my mind because I was just so busy on it. It was only a joke. And he sends me a message saying, hey, do you know anyone who wants the MCR ticket for tomorrow? I'm like, tomorrow? I can ask. Wait, I want the ticket. Because I was like, oh shit, the deadline's not for 2 weeks. Hell yeah, I'll go. And I'm so glad I did in the end.
Oh yeah.
Because because that week it was so topsy-turvy with the weather. We didn't know if it was going to be raining or sunny. We didn't know how to dress.
Even on the day, it was fucking.
It was cloudy, and then it was because we met up and we went to town, and I was just, it still didn't hit me that we were going to the concert, and we went and got lunch beforehand, and then we met with AJ and we walked. Then we got to Lewis to Kilmainham where the event took place, and oh boy, that's when I was like, oh, people here, and we're like, okay, how do we get to this place? And then we seen the queue. We were there 2 hours early.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. So we start queuing up,
Yeah.
and there was at least 6 people there.
Not on the queue. The queue is fucking.
There was at least, this is what started the first bit of events. Was me and Matthew got into a little discussion about how many people were there. I said there was at least 6, and he was arguing.
Oh,
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
these stupid at least 6. And I'm just like, at least. It just sounds wrong, though, right? There's got to be a better description to say there was
But
at
was I
least.
wrong?
I don't know, because I feel like there's actually a better scientific way of doing it. I feel like this is a joke that people do that they've done so much, and then a scientist comes around and ruins the joke for everybody.
Actually.
It's like, actually, when you mean the least, and it's just like, or I guess that's more English, professor or something that comes out and ruins the joke. But yeah,
then we started talking about songs, and you're like, what was that Beyonce song? New York's. And then this random person
or
in
no,
front
I was like, it was Beyonce, was it Rihanna? I was like, who did
and
like
the person standing in front of us turns around and goes, it's Alicia Keys. And then that's how we got our concert friend Jill, who accompanied us for the rest of the day.
Yeah, and
so there was
concrete wet dreams.
Yep.
Something tomato.
And we were just like, okay. So we have our little group: AJ, his sister, us two, and Jill, our concert friend. And then came 5 o'clock. The queue started moving, and we were in the grounds. And just there's nothing better than coming into like an outdoor gig.
Yeah.
All the flags were up. Then seeing the stage, it's like, that's a big stage. So the first order of business was buying our merchandise. Because with me,
we're capitalist pigs.
But the thing is, right?
Gimme.
I have no problems buying merch at a concert because, let's be honest, we're not really buying albums. You may buy the occasional record. Of course, the concert tickets were, £70, but it's one of the easiest ways to support the band. Because I know I have Spotify. So if I've enjoyed the gig, because most important for me, I don't even know if you can see it, is the dates. And
I also got that. I'm too half-assed. I'm so tired today.
And so we got the merch. And of course, the queue was already huge. I'm like, oh shit. Because AJ was like, we need food. And we're like, no, we need to get merch. So I remember I was in the line. And I turned around and talked to AJ, and you were standing beside me, and I turned back, and you were 3 people ahead of me already getting the shit, and I was like, what the fuck, how did he do that?
Because I mind control people.
Yeah, you just went, and we got the shirt. We got the shirt, I'll go ahead.
I was about to say I was Dr. Xavier from...
So, we got the shirt, and I go looking for you. That was not even last week. That was the last episode. Also,
true.
I wanted to point out no one noticed my Doctor Strange spoiler on my shelf. See if you can find it. It involves a character from the movie.
From the movie? Wait.
English.
I see.
For people not watching, I have the Lego figure of Captain Carter. I don't know if you can see it, but I have the figure split in two. So we get the shirts, and I'm like, "Where's Matthew gone?" And I see him standing there. I'm like, "Why are you sad?" And you're like, "They gave me the wrong one."
Yeah, they gave me the wrong one. I was like, I want this one and that one. Well, I kind of understand why they got confused, because I was like, I want this. I wanted 2 shirts, and I was like, I want those 2. I told them not to get one of them. And I guess they messed up. But they were actually like really nice to just be like, hey, I got the wrong one. Well, actually, luckily I didn't have to do any of the work to call somebody over. Some guy was already there like, hey, I got the wrong shirt. And I was like, I'll just use his opportunity
to say, I'm with him.
Hey, I actually got the wrong shirt as well. And I exchanged shirts. I don't know if I mean, this is the shirt that
3 cheers, yeah.
I originally wanted.
You see, I wanted to get that one, but I hate the back of it. It's just the
all right. Yeah, thanks for my drip, bro.
It's 3 cheers, but it's just like, again, tour dates are important. Like, if I had a clean back, because like the back of it is like a tombstone, but it's like a dark grey writing that they use for the tour dates, and it just kind of gets a bit mishy. So I got this one, which is just a skull that says My Chemical Romance. There's you got the Gerard way and his tidy whities as well, which was
so I can jerk off to it.
Fantastic shirt, but there was good selection.
There's an awesome one that I also wanted, but I was just like, I already want these 2 shirts, and they're like already.
Was
like,
it the jacket, the €110 one?
No, God. Although I do want that, because that's actually apparently their new look. Is that jacket now? That like once the album.
I know Mikey was wearing it on stage.
Mikey and
no, Frank was wearing a different one. He was wearing just an own brand one.
Yeah, probably, because I've seen him. I've actually seen him with a bunch of. Actually, he wore a shirt recently about.
That was on the second day in Dublin with the 19 kids who would all say that was the second day.
Yeah. God, tragic. Let's not move.
Yeah, let's stick to the good vibes of our concert day.
Yeah.
So we get that all sorted out, and AJ, his sister, and Jill decide we want food, and me and Matthew were like, we'll secure our place at the front of general admission, because there was the pit, and then there was general admission. So we get to the front, and I'll let you say what happened.
Well, basically, we stormed the fucking stage, and we beat up the band members.
Broke their guitars.
Yeah! And then we never got to see them.
Nah, the police were a bit rough. I still have a creak in my back.
Just a creak?
Yeah. Whenever I move, you just hear.
I got a really bad, like, neck problem now.
God.
I don't know. I mean, I took on like 70 cops, so...
The restraints, I just easily just went like, that's like, oh, get me something stronger.
Yeah, I was like Superman from the Man of Steel, where it's just like, you think these things will hold me? I'm Markiplier. No. What really happened was we went on stage.
We went on stage?
Yeah, we went on stage, and we played our hearts out, all right? We are the band. I am Gerard Way. We are Mike M. No, but okay, what really, really happened, we just saw, well, we didn't see, but the
stewards, the high people who were like, don't do that.
The high people. The high council, Jill, our band, our accompanying friend, oh no, was it?
No,
her?
It was just us two, and they came back. They were eating, and we saw
but
them.
Remember when they came back? That one of them pointed out to us.
Think
that was like,
I can't remember who.
I think it was AJ's sister. So, we got pointed out, like, it's like, hey, they're putting out armbands.
I want an armband.
I want an armband. I want it right now. And then, and then those were into the inner halo,
the pit, in front of the stage, and the best reaction was just Matthew, just going, oh, we're right there. Yeah. And the fact was, like, we were at the very back of the pit, but we were still so close to the stage.
Yeah.
And it was just like, we had so much room as well. There wasn't people cramping us.
Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, now every time I want to go to a concert, I'm like, let's get in early. Let's stay around that fucking area.
Because I know with a lot of people, with bands, like, you have to pay extra to go to the front. But I don't know, because when we were getting the tickets, there was no pit tickets. There was just general admission. Yeah, unless it was the second time.
So I think I know how it works, because my dad was telling me how it works. Is that so they purposely don't sell tickets to overpack that.
General.
Yeah, so when in the pit, they probably did sell pit tickets.
There was a lot of people there before we got in.
Yeah. And and they probably just wanted to get, like, up front, like, and stay there for the rest of the day. And then, but how it works is that they pay that, and they sell those tickets knowing that there's not going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of room there,
and they want the full front stage.
And I think it depends on the day, and they see how many people are in, like, the pit, that they're like, okay, this can actually hold a few more people.
So they let us in.
Yeah. So they just go around giving armbands, because apparently my dad was like, that happens, like, pretty much every time, because they're not. I think on the day they're not even 100% sure how many people would actually
let's
fill
just
that
say,
out.
like, 1,000 tickets that could be up the front.
Yeah.
And then, for all you know, about 600 people show up.
Yeah.
But we were in the right place in the right time, and we got in, and there wasn't a lot of people at the time going in. And we were there like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then just the vibe just got even better. Like, everyone's like, oh, yes, we can see the stage. We can see the stage. And it was easier getting in and out, because we were at the very back of it. Yeah, because it was right beside us. If anyone had to go to the toilet to get food. And then the first act came on, Crackhead Barbie. That was, I can't even remember the band's name.
Three members of that band were all out. All out.
Having the time of their lives.
Yeah, like awesome. And then there was, like, two guitarists.
There was one bass player and one guitarist who was just on the side of the stage just going...
Yeah.
The lead guitarist, he was having the fucking time of his life.
Oh, yeah.
Talking to the crowd.
The drummer and him having the blast.
And then the titular Crackhead Barbie. she was just fucking unpredictable.
Yeah, I mean, she almost had a nip slip like a ton of times.
Only a ton. But she was just jumping, and every 2 seconds she was just going like that, just going like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I remember there was one point during the act where, like, you know, she was rubbing her coochie on stage. I was like, ugh. Then she got the microphone and shoved it down her pants.
Yeah,
then she took it out and went over to lead guitar. I was like, dear God, don't put it in his face. Don't put it in his mouth. She didn't, thankfully. But it was started crying on stage. Not again. But yeah, no, like, they were entertaining. It was like metal country.
So, yeah, what I felt like, because the rest of the other band members, apart from the Barbie, the main singer, she was dressed like a more like glam rock.
Yeah, like her hair was very
from
80s rock.
Yeah, but the other band members were
Dressed like
dressed
flamboyant
up,
cowboys.
Yeah, they were dressed up as like Day of the Dead, like Mexican suits, which are which I mean, the only other time I can really think of that is like punk type dress up, which like, so they were dressed up as punk. I'm going to call it that, and she was dressed up as glam rock, which I'm just like, it's not too conflicting. I mean, it separates the lead singer from the band to like point her out. Apparently that's like Gerard Way's. He said it's one of his favorite bands.
Yeah, when he was like thanking him, and the thing was, you could see Frank and Gerard off the side of the stage watching. Like, there was a point where everyone was cheering because they were in masks and sunglasses watching from the side of the stage.
Yeah.
But then, like, they played their songs. There was one song I knew, actually. I thought it was a cover, but they actually made the song, which was Pet Sematary, because they made it for the movie. I was like, I know this one. And I thought they were doing a cover of it because I didn't know when the song came out. But, you know, they did their thing. She jumped off the stage and looked like...
How old is Pet Sematary?
It was the remake that came out a few years ago. Not really good.
No, I know. That's awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it had cool ideas in it, but...
Yeah, it didn't feel too...
I mean, I like the original. I know a lot of people don't, because it's like... It's cheesy, very... It's cheesy, and it has very, like, straight-to-television vibes.
Yeah, but it's the new one is just... I wanted to see the Wendigo. Like, they hinted it.
Yes, they do. Yeah, because I mean, it's the same in the first film. They hint at it with noises in the background.
Ooh, spooky wood noises.
Yeah.
So yeah, she jumps off the stage and looks like she really fucking hurt her foot because it was a high stage. It was like 8 foot, 10 foot, and then the next act came on.
So she went running.
Yeah, she just disappeared.
Yeah.
The rest, like the guitarist, just tore up the stage except for the bass and other guitar player who was just hiding in the corner, and they just walked off. I'm like, yeah, that was an entertaining opening act.
Although, I felt so bad for them at the very beginning.
Yeah, the mics weren't working.
The mics were working, and they missed the beat, and I'm like, oh, I was just like, at first I was like, all right, this is sounding good, and then when she was like, and then like the feedback came back out, and I was like,
and the crowd was just going, ooh.
Ooh.
But then they eventually got it back on.
Yeah.
It's not like when I saw the opening act for Arctic Monkeys where they were just shite. And then the last 2 songs...
Most opening acts are shite. I'm not going to lie. I mean, even them, they were like... They were entertaining, but I think they're entertaining not for the fact that... I mean, again, if I listen to their music as a studio version of their music...
It could be good.
Yeah, it could be good.
But I'm not going
it's maintained then with sound and volume and shit. But live... It just sounded very messy.
It's just sounded too punk to be good, if you get me.
Yeah. Although, see, even punk, you have great punk music.
But punk works best in small spaces, not a big open field.
See, yeah, well, see, I think their music is very pop rock, punk rock type feel to it, but I mean, yeah, they even played Bad Reputation, which is but like,
no, that wasn't her. That was the next act.
Oh yeah, that was the next act. But but they also did a cover of something, didn't they?
I thought it was Pet Sematary, but that was their actual song.
Okay, right. But it's weird. Like, they sounded punk, but it was, again, everything was so messy. Yeah, I think everything was just very messy with the music.
One thing I'll say is, like, the acoustics, the speakers weren't very loud.
No.
Like, we'll get to that when we get to MCR, because that was when it was very prevalent. But anyway, I'll finish the story with the opening act.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. I'll bring up the speaker stuff with
when we get to it.
Yeah.
But this opening act, they were so bad. They just weren't good. And the last few songs, their speakers, everything was failing. The lead guitarist was kicking everything, and they got booed off the stage. Like, literally didn't even finish their set and walked off the stage.
Oh, you're talking about Arctic Monkeys?
Yeah.
I was like, that didn't happen to those guys.
No, we didn't. Yeah, we booed off Arctic Monkeys. It was the opening band.
Yeah.
And there's usually break time in between the opening act and that. Nope, Arctic Monkeys were on stage in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because they knew the crowd was getting pissed. But the next act was the TikTok singer. Which
what's A B C D E F U?
It's like
the fuck you. I didn't get with. I was just like, it's that girl from TikTok, but she that song like with apparently uncensored with A B C D E F or like A B C D E fuck you doesn't flow as much as F U. It like A B C D.
I can't believe that she had Elton John with her though.
What?
So I can't believe she had Elton John with her.
Oh yeah, because there's a guy on stage. He was dressed as Elton John. There's no way he had and like he's just dressed as Elton John. I was like, I mean, I'm not talking young Elton John because that's way too flamboyant. I'm talking about old Elton John, where he's more subdued. Like looking, it's like that's the Elton John I'm talking about that the guy looked like, because young Elton John, I mean, if he was dressed up as young Elton John, that would be another like trippy insane thing to look at, as that's very flamboyant. But
because she was completely different. But the thing that weirded me out about her was she kept saying, I have daddy issues, I'm singing songs about drinking, sex, drugs, and then she goes, I'm 17, and then the entire crowd went, huh? You could feel just everyone change and everyone start going, ugh. And like, as soon as she started mentioning that, everyone was like, ugh. Because I felt that. I was like, why? You're 17. Why you die? When I was 17, I was stressed about my leaving cert.
I mean, in fairness, I don't think she has to stress about leaving cert. She's got a lot of money now. Also, I think, I don't really care for it as much because, well, one, obviously, Billie Eilish has been doing that pretty much. Like pretty much every young star at the moment is talking about sex and drugs and shit.
One thing I got to give her credit for was that she actually played instruments.
Oh yeah, she's actually very talented. Although it's funny, a lot of the crowd saw her as an industry plant.
Yeah,
and I mean, understanding what an industry plant means, I mean, yeah, her family were probably rich, so
except for her dad, who wasn't there apparently. I forgot to plug that in. Technical difficulty. It was my key. Like, keep talking.
Oh right. Oh yeah, that's just needs battery. I gotcha. But yeah, basically, when people claim that she was in an industry plant, and I don't know much about her, and it's kind of hard to define.
I only know her from that song.
People call like Lana Del Rey an industry plant, and I mean,
she's a good voice though.
Yeah, but see, that's why I'm like, I don't really give two shits if they're an industry plant. Like, I mean, yes, I mean, I don't find it too annoying because an industry plant in general is somebody who's been either like trained to do it, or who's got a rich family that's paid their way into it. Now,
connections, someone knows someone.
Yeah, and again, I don't know anything about her life, so like when people said that, I was just like, okay.
So the best thing about her set was that she sang "Reputation," which is that one song
that was
from Shrek.
awesome. Yeah, I love that song. That song from Shrek.
Yeah,
where everybody knows it from.
I mean, is that a wrong statement?
No. If you're British and you lived in the 90s or 80s, you probably heard it all the fucking time.
But it was cool though. It was different. It was like punk, and the fact that they were actually playing and the entire crowd started head bobbing, because I can't remember any of her other songs at all.
Apart from ABC and
that was Reputation. The last one.
I mean, I wasn't there for most of it. I went to get a burger.
You really didn't miss anything. It was just,
I mean, I heard some of it and I was like, I kind of do want to listen to it because some of the set does sound good, and I did want to give her a chance. So I originally went to go take a toilet break, but I was like, there's a burger place right there, and she hasn't started yet. Maybe if I join the line, I'll probably make it. And in fairness, I did like the line was going quick up until like the last 5 people, and then it got really slow, and that's when the set started. I was like, okay, well, it's the last 5 people, and it's gone really fast. But then like 3 songs went by, and I'm still like 5 people are still ahead of me. I'm like, what is going on? Give me food and let me listen to music. But
she was okay. Like it's just what you expect. Like she had a good moment where she did like some high vocals, and they were really impressive.
Oh yeah. She's very talented. I mean,
just for the vibe of the concert. It was like
she also played a song that she hasn't released, which was,
what was the song?
I don't know. Mainly because it wasn't released, and also that was my first time listening to it. I don't remember her song's name.
That reminds me, when I went to see Gorillaz in 2018, the tour was originally supposed to be for their previous album, The Humans, but the album kind of flopped. And they made a new album the next year, and that was what the tour was after. But half of the set was new songs from the album, and that entire crowd was going, I can't vibe along because they're new songs.
Yeah. You see, I felt like, you know what? I think if I was to ever pull a disappointing thing out of this entire... Will we move to my cam now?
Yeah, we'll move on. Yeah.
If I was to point out one... And this is my only disappointing thing, is that I felt like, and okay, I mean, this is a dumb disappointing thing because we got a lot of the album listened to already, but I was expecting a lot more Black Parade stuff because we got a lot of Danger Days stuff.
Yeah, they opened heavy with Danger Days.
Yeah, and then, I mean, okay, well, they opened with their new song,
and then like this was another problem, was the volume. Sometimes I have some hearing issues with loud stuff, so the new song I hadn't listened to.
I think that was also because we were very close.
Yeah, like everyone was loud.
I mean, the moment we heard those speakers, the floor vibrated to a point where we were like, whoa. And we were on solid, we were on dirt.
It wasn't mushy or anything.
Yeah,
because was Foundations okay, and I hadn't heard it yet. And I was like, oh, this is good.
Oh, really? You had never heard it before?
Like, I hadn't heard it because it only came out a few days beforehand. And I didn't know what the next song was until halfway through it. And I was like, God fucking damn it. Because everyone was so loud, it was incomprehensible to really hear.
Yeah, it did take you a while to... Because even when Mama came on, and that has a very iconic opening. Even when that came on, people were screaming so much where I was just like, I can't really hear much.
But
I mean, again, we are in the front and behind us, an entire fucking crowd filled with like thousands upon thousands of people screaming in our direction. Technically, it's like we're going to get some muddled sound.
Because the second song was "I'm Not Okay," one of their most famous ones.
Oh god, such a good song.
Because then once I realized, I was like, "I'm not okay."
Oh yeah, so I think the albums that they played the most of were definitely Danger Days and Three Cheers. We got like 4 songs of Black Parade, which was obviously
famous last
Black
words,
Parade.
Black Parade, Mama. There's another one in there.
Teenagers. Did they play Teenagers?
They did.
Yes. Okay. And Teenagers, yeah. Which
like I would have rather This Is How I Disappear.
Oh, House of Wolves.
House of Wolves as well.
So that's 5.
That was Teenagers. Teenagers was Black Parade, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. I would have loved to hear like, Sharpest Lives. This Is How I Disappear. There was another one I love from Black Parade.
I Won't Say I'm in Love.
Yeah.
Or what's it called?
Dead,
The End.
Yeah.
Both of those together would have been awesome. Okay, in fairness, that entire album would have been amazing to listen to. I think if they played that entire album, I think Gerard Way would not need to sing.
No.
Literally everybody would...
that was another funny thing. He fucking tired himself after I'm Not Okay. He went
Not
in.
Okay is hard. I mean, okay, in fairness, he's been doing this for months on end of touring. So, like, I was expecting maybe like I was hoping like I hope this isn't a bad day for his voice, because I know a lot of people, especially in harder songs, their voice will, especially later into their touring, they'll have worse like days for the
Yeah.
voice. So I was hoping we're not getting like a bad day, and we
'Cause
didn't
that's
get the
why I
worst
love-
day. We didn't get the worst day.
Because that's
but,
why I love going to the first day of concert. I never want to go to the second day because they'll be kind of like,
yeah.
But
Although in fairness, the videos from the second day,
yeah,
it sounded like he was still just up for it and having fun, which.
because something happened on the first day, which we'll get to a little bit later on, that kind of just cemented that show for me.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. So the first song, Foundation, okay, it's more of a chill, like melodramatic song than I'm Not Okay. Everyone just went all in on because, like, I'm not fucking okay.
Yeah, everybody's voice was broken by the end of not. I mean, again, that's a very hard, that's a very loud song.
Because it's very harmonic. It's not even just screaming.
Yeah.
Forget about that. Like, it's very grizzled. And not okay. Like, it's very. And then, like, at the end of that song, he's literally hands on his knees going.
Yeah.
But then he was talking to the crowd a lot, which was nice. That he was being honest. Like, it felt like therapy.
I love those moments.
Like,
I see the moment you're going to bring up where I know you're going. There is a moment in me where I'm just like, come on, guys, let him talk.
Yeah.
Because
like, one of the first moments was like, do you guys we have a fucking maze over there? And he was talking about, like, we just wanted to have fun. And it's like, sounds like, ooh, when he was touring beforehand, didn't sound like fun. He's like, they always worry about my precious voice. And he's like,
I saw that. I actually saw that clip. There's a clip of that.
Yeah, that was from that gig. And he was like, well, I don't give a shit anymore. It's like, ooh, go girl.
Go girl.
But
voice breaks halfway through this fucking song.
Then he went into a few Danger Days songs. Like, I'm not too familiar with Danger Days, but no, it's good vibe along.
Yeah, I think Danger Days is one of my, like, Bullets and Danger Days I don't know much about.
But Three Cheers and Black Parade.
Three Cheers and Black Parade are just iconic
Bangers
albums in my head.
Bangers.
I mean, I think Three Cheers and Three Cheers and Black Parade are all killer, no filler.
Yeah.
For me. Danger Days I still think has a few stinkers, but
it's just I don't care for, like, Destroyer, Scarecrow.
I did like Destroyer and how it was
great
performed.
live. It's a great chart.
Yeah, because then, like, when
Destroyer.
Yeah, but nah, great songs. Surprised they didn't play Sing.
Yeah.
Actually, that was another thing where I was kind of annoyed. But again, I wasn't obviously disappointed because I was just very happy to see them alive.
I seen the set list for day 2, and a lot of the songs I love. They played on that day. Like, they played one of my favorite songs, I Never Told You What I Do for a Living, with the ending to Three Cheers, because it's such a diverse song.
Yeah.
And a few other ones where it's like, oh, maybe I would have enjoyed day 2 more, but at the same time, they played all the songs you love.
Yeah, is it because I think with Danger Days as well, although I did like the song choices they chose, I was like, wow, they really didn't go with some of the ones I'm thinking of. Like, they didn't go. Again, they probably
Give Them Hell, fucking banger of a song.
They didn't do Planetary Go. They didn't do Kids from Yesterday.
Sing, as you said.
Like Sing, they didn't. I'm like, okay. In fairness, Sing. I'm kind of happy I didn't get to listen to, because it's a very melodical song, and I mean, it would have been a good Sing song. I don't know.
Towards the middle of the show, before the first encore, as it's coming to a close, yes.
Yeah.
But, they played the ones everyone knows, like Teenagers. Like, that's when the crowd was at its loudest. But you know what songs
or
were playing?
Mama. Literally anything from Black Parade.
Mama, like, that was the one I was least expecting. We were joking about it, but that was a banger live. Like, the guitars,
so good.
Like, when it got towards when it gets a Mama, we are. He was just stomping around the stage. Mama, and the red lights.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Black Parade, when they were playing Welcome to Black Parade. It took me a second to realise what song it was, because, again, everyone was loud.
Yeah.
But as soon as When I Was, that's when I fucking lost my voice.
Yeah.
And as soon as that crescendo comes,
although, again, great moment. He did not need to sing.
No.
Like, Gerard Way did not need to sing almost any song throughout that entire day.
No.
Because, I mean, in fairness, with a band that only has 4 albums, I think a lot of people in that crowd basically knew all those albums.
I think
by
he did
heart.
it a few times where he was just kind of like, yep, you sing it.
I mean, in fairness, I genuinely do think his throat was fucked. Yeah. So I think he was just doing that as well. Because he was like, he's happy that the crowd is so into it, as well as like, oh, thank God. This is a chill day.
And there was a moment where he pulled out a book, and I'm like, no way is he going to read excerpts from Doom Patrol. Because that was another thing we joked about.
Or fucking
Umbrella Academy. Because that was another thing we joked about. I was like, what if in the middle of the set he just pulls out the chair, goes, okay, I'm going to read you some excerpts from upcoming comics. And he pulled out a book, and I went, no fucking way. I can't even remember what he was talking about with it. And his duct tape. Yeah, he just brought out random shit. But the moment...
Oh, with his notebook. He talked, by the way, he talked about his... Well, he talked about he got the inspiration from somebody else about taking in notes and thoughts and stuff, and then he just relayed that to us, and we were like, cool.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. But the moment that kind of cemented the show, he was bringing up something about singing a song towards people, and he was like, I wouldn't even sing it for the Queen. And then the crowd started booing, and he was like, what the fuck? Like, he thought people were booing him, but then all at once, everyone started yelling, fuck the Queen. Fuck that Queen.
And he was Gerard Way took out his cock and fucked the Queen, and we were all like, yeah, fuck the Queen.
But the moment was such a beautiful moment because he kept trying to talk, but we were overpowering, and like, you know, Frank was having the time of his life. He was just laughing because we know how he feels about certain things. But he was just put his hands and just looked around and went, okay, next song. And then like there's another time during the break where again fuck the Queen happened. On the second day, a video I saw was he's like, so I found out yesterday you guys don't really like the Queen that much, and again the crowd went, fuck the Queen. And it was just it's just one of those beautiful moments. It's just they're gonna remember that now. If they ever come back to Dublin, it's gonna happen.
I know. I'm very happy. I would love to see him again. I'm just golly, they're iconic in my head.
Because like, literally so every single song, like. And then another point he was saying, like, the next song is a banger. The one after that is a banger. They're all fucking bangers.
Yeah, and I'm like, and in fairness, the songs he played after that were like, these are actually all bangers. Yeah. Like, I don't think there was like a song where I'm just like, I don't know it. I like it's like, I think after that he just played songs, all the songs I knew, which I was like, oh yeah,
oh, man, like the entire crowd during Famous Last Words, like that is such an empowering song. Everyone, you know. I am not afraid to keep on living. And then, of course, the encore. But, you know, ending on Helena was a note.
Yeah, because I that makes sense because Helena ends with so long and good night, which I guess is a very good out song. You know, like see ya.
Because I had a look at some of the other sets, and they've been doing a different set every show. They've been opening with Foundations.
Although what I think, Gerard Way just looks at the set. Or like I don't know if he like I don't know, maybe I don't know, the way he like looks, I presume he is looking at the set to see what song's next, but sometimes I think he just looks at it and I think he just sees all the songs and like, I'll do that one. And he just tells the band that, and then like, okay,
because like everyone in the band looked great, like everyone looked like they were having fun. That was the most important part, because like the biggest shock was the fact that they came out in casual clothes. That just normal tops. Like, oh, I thought you were going to come out in something. But I remember one thing was like the stage, there was this big curtain up, and we were like, what's behind the curtain? And then we're like, they're going to drop the curtain, they're going to be standing behind it. And then like, you know, the creepy ambience from Foundations coming into, they're like, and then they're, oh, and then they just walked on stage.
Yeah, the thing was
moving.
The curtains were opened like ages ago, and we're like, oh.
No, it was just a backdrop.
It was just a backdrop. Although that stage looks amazing when the lights hit a certain way and you just see smoke, but like it's like it looks like it's such a well designed stage that like when the smoke is like rushing by, or like the fog machines are like rushing by because the wind is pushing it.
Yeah.
It looks like a desolated white wasteland, and I'm just like, wow, that's like really well done. Because it looks so cool.
About My Chemical Romance is their albums are stories. Like the first one's about the demolition lovers. Second one is about the man trying to reunite his wife from hell. Then Black Parade is
just about death.
It's just about someone dying.
Yeah.
And then Danger Days is just this adventure through the Californian wasteland. Yeah. So I think like the new album is going to be like set in the post-apocalyptic world. Just everything is dead.
That was the other thing that I also think that's probably what the next album is going to be. But he also did that weird voice like multiple times.
yeah.
Of just going
Like that was, yeah, he had like
he like gargled water while talking, and it's
'cause
like this
he
is
had
a weird voice.
modulated microphone, which is great and all, but we couldn't hear him because the crowd was going too loud, and he was like, because if you listen to Foundations, the backing vocals in that are similar to the harmonics, so that kind of distorted. But like, goddamn, it was just a fucking. It was 2 hours long. The show, hell of a fucking show, and at the very front as well. That like it was such, like it was great.
Yeah.
That like I think like the song that stood out the most I think was Mama, because it's such an aggressive song, and just
Well, it eventually turns into an aggressive song.
Yeah.
It's like at first it's like
it's a sassy,
Mama,
snarky.
we all
But as soon
go
as those
to hell. I love the guitars in
as
that.
soon as they kicked in,
sometimes.
everyone in the crowd was
Fucking
like,
oh yeah, they bob the head. Ma.
Of course, when they play na 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 na, everyone just fucking goes crazy.
Yeah.
That's a fun song.
Drugs, give me drugs. I don't need it.
But like, I'm glad I went. But then the worst part about the day was AJ saying, "Oh, my car's a few minutes away."
I love that walk home.
That was a fun walk.
I like walk homes. So I'm like, this is a long walk home from a concert I'm fucking in love with.
Because like,
You know what? I'm happy about
and then there was me who was like, "Guys, I'm in work in 5 hours. I need to get home."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that was a
big
rough
oof.
morning.
Thank God I was in 11. And also, that day was very chilled the next morning. We were all in work the next morning. By the way, I just remembered the cameras there.
Yeah.
I'm just like, we can literally ask the audience, is like, what do you think, audience?
What do you think?
Look at you. Like, we can just look at you, dude.
Jim, make sure we're still in focus. Are you recording still?
We can actually look at the audience and be like,
Are you
what
gonna give us money now?
Dude, we can be like, dude, you're scaring the chicks away. Why are you looking at me?
Is this my good side, Jim?
Yeah.
But no, like it was just indoor concerts are cool and all, but they're so fucking cramped, and it's just like I can't breathe. But just an outdoor gig is just there's something electric about it. Just the atmosphere, seeing the stage, and of course I got one drink, and it was €8 for a drink this size. For a Guinness, it was. But yeah, like it was.
I got water for free, baby.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Although it took fucking hours to get it.
Because yeah, like in between like each of the acts, the security guard would just start handing out water, and the etiquette is you put your hand up and the people in the back get it first. But then there's some cheeky fuckers going, nope, mine now. And I remember you having a telepathic conversation with the woman at the start. I was
okay. There's a woman who's just like, you want it? I was like, yeah, I want water. Give me water.
And I remember,
and then she was just like, okay. I was like, you want me to come over there? I'm not surfing through people to get there.
You were about to go.
Give me my water. Because every time it was about to get to me, it was like,
my water.
I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Did you not see me telepathically just signal to her that I want water?
Logan.
And every time I got water, it was half sipped. I was just like, it was half drunk. I was like, what the fuck? Like, people are just giving me COVID. Yeah.
But like, I had 2 cups of water before the opening acts, but then none before MCR, because they were on like every half hour. They were like on the dot. They came on. But it was fun. It was a fun gig, especially that they looked like that they were enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
And it's just if they come back.
I also remember the time when I was singing what you call it? What was I singing? Was I singing The Killers? Started off with a kiss. I think I started singing another. I don't know if it was Mr. Brightside now, actually, that I think about it, but I started singing another, like, emo band song, and people were like, bro, that's not my cam. I'm like, I know, I was pointing to the speakers, like, the speakers are playing it, god damn it, I don't genuinely think this was my cam. That,
like, one of the weirdest things about the show was, like, there was a lot of young people there. Like, it was
it's for a young crowd.
Yeah. Oh, but I felt so bad.
The music, I think, it's how. I mean, a lot of people who get into my chem start
young troubled kids. Oh. But
yeah.
I remember when we were waiting in the queue, there was like 2 people dressed up with the black parade gear, but I think they didn't get in because they were underage. So that was one of the things.
That's devastating. I was like, oh, man, that sucks. Can I have your jacket?
Like, yeah, it was just a fun, chill day from start to finish.
Yeah.
Work the next day was hell, and I still haven't recovered because I've been so fucking tired. But it was just like, yeah, concerts, outdoor concerts. When you coming back? And because I remember I was going to Kildare to visit my grandmother, and I came back, I was like, the fucking thing's still up. And I took a video, I was like, what the fuck? And I googled, and there's still gigs playing there. I think fucking Liam Gallagher is playing there tomorrow, but
What in
Kilmainham,
no way?
where MCR were playing.
I didn't know Kilmainham is
Neither
doing
did
so
I.
much shit.
Neither did I.
Maybe that's like the new place after what's it called?
It wouldn't be as big as Slane. But
Well, yeah, no, but like Slane. Why the fuck did Slane
well,
stop?
I heard that they're doing 2 more gigs at Slane because it's under new management and they care more about the whiskey. But you seen how Slane was that day? Like there was nearly 80,000 people in Slane, all buying drinks. So like,
I'm also weirded out by how much concerts I've been to that have had that like slope.
yeah,
Every concert I've been to, just like we perfectly found the perfect slope for concerts where we
It's
don't need seats because the ground itself is a seat. I'm like, how is there multiple of these? I mean, okay, in Ireland it makes sense.
that's
It's
a good looking
literally-
hill.
We're like literally filled with hills, so Ireland was bound to find some shit, I guess.
Because there has been a lot of legendary acts in Slane, sorry. But yeah, how many concerts have I been to now? So I've been to Gorillaz, Arctic Monkeys, then Metallica, Ghost, Slipknot, Glass Animals, Dexter Morgan's band, and My Chem, and then Rammstein next one. So nine gigs. So that's not bad.
I'm going to. Well, I've been to. It's a very bizarre choice. I've been to a weird Thin Lizzy concert, but now
Was it a tribute band or?
no, it was Thin Lizzy. It's known as the same band. They just obviously Phil Lynott has been dead for fucking ages, so we went to a Thin Lizzy band without Phil Lynott, who basically created, who is the band.
Yeah.
But like, although in fairness, I got to see basically all Thin Lizzy apart from Phil Lynott, and I was like, oh, I'm pretty happy with this concert. I went with my dad and Owen, I think, and then I went to see Metallica. Oh, before that I went to see Ed Sheeran, which is by accident because my sister was meant to go with my mom, and then they couldn't go for some reason or something, and then me and like then I was like, okay, I'll go. And then the next concert was Metallica, then it was Ghost, then it was
Foo Fighters, wasn't it?
Foo Fighters, yeah.
Rest in peace, Tyler Hawkins.
Oh god, yeah, fuck, that's yeah. And then Mike Chem, and I'm going to see Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Give it a wee.
Wait now. I hope I don't see their new shit, because the new shit's kind of bad. But I hope they don't play their new shit because it's kind of bad. But I'm going to see Green Day, Weezer, and Fall Out Boy on the same day, which is like, wow, awesome. All right.
I was
sick.
supposed to go to that, but I don't think I can actually make that one.
Yeah, and Kendrick Lamar.
So
Yeah.
good, healthy amount.
Yeah.
Going to see Rammstein next month, and they were the ones I've been looking forward to the most. And they were supposed to play like a lot of concerts last year, and I had tickets booked for Belfast. I'm like, okay, it's a bit of a trek. Book an Airbnb, grand. The tour got postponed again, and they only cancelled the Belfast one. Every other place got rescheduled, so I'm like,
Oh, wow.
what the fuck am I supposed to do? And the closest place was Cardiff. It's like, okay, fine, it's not what I wanted. And
Where
all
is Cardiff, by the way?
Wales.
Oh, right. So it's
And
a flight or a boat. You could be
I'll
like
swim. But the most annoying thing is I had to get seating tickets, because that's all that was left. Good seats, by the way, but still.
Yeah. That's annoying.
Because Rammstein, they're known for putting on these big pyrotechnic light shows that like you don't even want to be up the front. You want to be kind of a bit back just to see the spectacle. But now I get to see it from the side.
Yeah.
So they're one of my favorite bands. I really enjoyed them. Like just fucking 1994. But it's just one of those things like, oh god, out of all the bands I wanted to see the most, I have to go to another fucking country. Because I know with most of the bands
And
I've
it's
seen,
fucking England. Well, sorry,
Wales,
sorry,
but
the
it's
United
still-
Kingdom. Sorry, England and Wales and Scotland and.
But for most of the gigs I've been to, I do have a shirt for. I don't have one for Glass Animals, and I don't have one for Princess Goes to Butterfly Museum, but I do have the set list. So it's one of those things where it's like it's a cool memento to have. Like this, I wore this during the concert, and it has the concert vibes. Thankfully, no alcohol was spilled on it this time.
Yeah.
But it's just concerts there, just fun, and they're a different experience because like in the moment you don't realize it, but it's like these famous songs, the artists sang them and performed them for us.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Black Parade is such a big and famous song, like probably their most iconic song, and in the moment
Which is funny because, like, I love going back in time.
you can go back in time.
No, sorry. Yeah, I'm just kind of I'm like that, you know. I'm a back in time kind of guy, but no, but like backtracking on like their success, which is Bullets, basically got no fucking attention. Three Cheers. Helena was the only big song that
I'm
really.
not okay.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, out of the original song, like,
Yeah.
what became famous and was played on like radios and shit was Helena, and that was all that was really played. Maybe for the music, the trailer, or sorry, the music video, which was a very famous music video of him being in a church and with a coffin and shit.
The dancing, yeah.
Yeah, and then Black Parade was just
monumental.
Yeah, it was just
'Cause
gigantic.
That's how I was introduced to MyCam because of Famous Last Words. I remember seeing the video of the bard on fire and just how powerful the song was. The guitars like, ooh, what is this song? And then years later, I found them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah. And then of course, Black Parade is a song that everyone knows, but like it's a weird one. As soon as you know that note and just the opening.
Yeah, and then Danger Days had
Na Na Na
Na and Sing, which were their biggest ones. I mean, I think at that point, I was a fan of them when Danger Days technically came out. So, Kerrang and stuff, and all those like hit song channels and stuff.
The music videos
Constantly, it was always Sing or
Na 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 Na.
Hell, actually, there was not much Na Na Nas. I think I saw Sing's music video more than anything on Kerrang, which is weird because I'm like, that's not even the best
Was there
one.
any other music videos for Danger Days? I can't even remember.
Na 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 and Sing, I think, were like the biggest music videos. They probably later down the line did create new music videos for the other ones because at that point, YouTube was a thing and people started making music videos.
I know that they broke up because Gerard Way was falling into alcohol addiction and he wanted to be there for his daughter, and he said that was best for him to just cut the band altogether. Did the solo stuff, but like it's good to see. I've said it before that they were having fun with it. That didn't seem too serious and like
well, why they also originally they hated the management.
That was very
that's
apparent.
that's why when they came back they were very excited to just be themselves and have control over everything for themselves. That's like one of the biggest things of like, or what they said was very happy about. Like, they were very happy about.
He said like it's so stressful and so white knuckled all the time because like, it felt like he was saying some shit on stage that he shouldn't have been saying. Like it felt very confidential. But
yeah, sorry.
But if there is a new album, which I say it'll probably be hinted at towards the end of the tour, I'm curious to see how it'll go.
Well, we've already got like a song from it, so
Foundations
might not even by the end of the tour.
Not to mention, like, the fly seems to be a big image. Like, they have a merch with.
I mean, if you've seen the music video, you say music video, but it's the
visuals.
The visuals of the music video that I guess the lyric video that they released, which is the background's nothing but flies. It's like a swarm of flies. That's why I think the album's going to be called Swarm.
Like it's a very good song. That's like the foundations of Decay. But if that's the tone of the album, I can't wait because it's creepy, it's atmospheric, and I love it.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I think that was like a lot of people. Again, if I could get a remastered version of Foundations of Decay, the song, as its actual full recorded version, I would prefer a live version of that song than the recorded version. But even though the recorded version has good moments, I want a remaster of it where it's like they replace some of the sounding and stuff, because the drums are so loud in it and you can barely hear him.
Because he's kind of, it's like a poet song, because he's like, see, the man who stands up. It's not really, but the moments where he starts like, press until you can't press, and the chorus as well. It's a really good chorus, but it's just the moments in between the verses.
Yeah.
And I also learned from that song that My Chemical Romance kind of happened because of 9/11, because he actually seen the towers fell. He was in New York, which was, which I was like, oh, I didn't fucking know that. Now that was something.
Yeah. I mean, My Chem is related to a lot of, like, I say related, not like they did anything, but like to a lot of, like, or blamed, I should say, for a lot of Americans' problems.
Shootings, kids committing suicide.
I mean, that's why they created Teenagers, the song, was because, like, stop blaming fucking us. We didn't do shit.
Marilyn Manson turned into a shitty person, but he was being blamed. So was Doom, video games, heavy metal, rock in general.
Those demonic things. Like rap, hip-hop stuff. Which is funny, but actually, can I bring up something about hip-hop and stuff like that? I'm glad that rap is now just being referred to hip-hop mainly now. I mean, I think, unless it's like gangster rap,
big TVs,
it's still going to be like called rap, but hip-hop is, like, I think, just a better word for it. It just sounds...
Because rap is very segregated.
Yeah.
It's very like, oh, that's black people's music and not just...
How dare you? It's Eminem's music, alright.
Like, that's the thing, though. That's just...
Yeah.
That, like, you know, you look at the likes of fucking, what's his name? I can't remember. I'm not well versed in it, but it's just...
What? Who?
He's like, he doesn't rap, but they keep calling him a rapper, but he sings. And there's people like...
Post Malone.
Not Post Malone's white.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a white man.
No, I was talking about... I can't remember. But... I don't know.
He sings.
I can't remember. Like, I'm not too well versed. No, I don't know.
Okay.
Let's not get into a controversial topic. We'll have black facts.
Like, we've not done that so far. Have we? I don't know.
Really? What is the most controversial thing we've talked about?
9/11? I don't know.
Now, what'd be controversial is if we said, how did the towers fall like that?
2 planes, dumbass. Come on now.
God, wasn't a controlled demolition at all. God.
No.
What's your favorite conspiracy?
My favorite?
I don't have any, but...
My favorite? That's kind of... I mean... Yeah, obviously it's the favorite, so it doesn't really... I don't believe in it, but it's just funny to look into all the time, to see, like, hey, what's happening with these guys? And,
Flat Earthers?
No. It was Birds Aren't Real. I did love that.
Pigeons are recharging on the telephone lines.
Yeah, but once you find out that's just a big joke as is,
yeah, it's
just
the
creator of it,
shitpost.
yeah, it was just a shitpost. I was like, that's kind of annoying.
You remember the Chuck E. Cheese one, where apparently they took pizza out of the trash and put them back on the plates, and people were getting rulers and measuring
That turned
the
out
pizza.
as true though.
Did it?
Not out the trash, but what they do is uneaten pizza
Gets reused.
Yeah. And they have to change up everything because basically everyone was, because that's true, all the slices were not matched together. They're like all fucked up, and it was because what they did was that they just kept like using sliced pizza, the already sliced pizza, and then they just slotted in with everything.
I mean, the animatronics do get quirky at night.
Quirky. What a quirky bunch. But what is, like, I mean, it's very kind of hard to find what my favorite
So I don't really have any because I kind of just dismiss all of them. Of course, you got Flat Earthers.
Yeah. But Flat Earthers is so boring. It's the one everyone looks to.
Did you ever watch that documentary about Flat Earthers?
Which one?
There's
like a lot of those.
There's one called like Beyond the Curve, and it's so funny. It's made...
Oh, Beyond the Ice Wall type shit?
No, it's
No.
literally just following a group of flat earthers. And it's kind of shot in a style of like a mockumentary, but it's real. Like, you have main characters, which was Mark Sargent, who was like the lead. He had an antagonist. He had a love interest.
Yeah.
And it just got into the lives of these people, and I kind of forgot the fact that they were flat earthers. And they had a convention, and it just looks like a big play thing for them. They were all like, they're like, yeah, it seems like they do it just so they have a community to belong to. And at the end of the documentary, they proved that the Earth was round.
Oh yeah.
That was because like they said, like, oh, every like there should be an incline every like 7 miles or so.
Yeah.
So we're gonna set up sheets on 7 miles from each other. And they had the laser, and they spent 20 grand on a rotational device, saying like every hour it should rotate X amount of degrees.
Yeah, I remember seeing that where there's like, do you see it? No.
Huh.
Huh.
But no, it's so.
Well, I guess we set it up wrong or something like
yeah,
that.
they tried everything.
But they always fuck it up. Every time they make up a solution that says, now we've proven ourselves correct, they have to make a stupid convoluted science trick to like explain it away. But yeah, that's why I'm not like such a huge fan of that one, because it's like that one's so fucking known, and
funny
and it's like it's not interesting. Like lizard people is more interesting. Like that, I think that's way more interesting. Mark Zuckerberg. Although in fairness, I actually do see him more as a robot than a lizard. But
yeah, he doesn't. He just gives me uncanny valley vibes.
Yeah, I mean, how he acts is just so fucking bizarre.
How come like the man?
Well, I mean, I understand how. Oh yeah, I know what you're gonna say, but I understand how he's so uncanny. Is because he doesn't actually exist. He's an AI. No, he's a privileged white ass who just never learned social skills. Even in college, he was known as being an ass and not really understanding social cues. He was never really taught them, and so he never really developed as a person to connect with people. And again, that could have been the fault of the parents or something. I don't know. But from what I've seen, it's like, yeah, no, he's just like this because he never learned social cues. And the fact that he's just become a millionaire off of really rich.
He's closer.
Billionaire, sorry, yeah.
We're closer to becoming millionaires, and technically he is.
Yeah. And then, but yeah, he's the moment he became a billionaire from Facebook and shit like that, he got so separated from just people that he would never learn those social cues anyways, because his conflict with anybody he could just pay away. So
because the man who made one of the most famous social medias in the world bought up a bunch of others like Instagram and WhatsApp.
Yeah.
How come he lives a very like isolated life? He lives like I think he lives in Hawaii. And he has a big house, and he bought all the other houses around him, so he's like 100 acres with no one around him.
Yeah,
that's a bit sussy-wussy, if you ask me, Mr. Rebecca.
Kind of, everybody does that. Everyone who's rich tries to do that. Did you see that Ed Sheeran? Oh no, wait, I'm not. I'm thinking of some stupid. I'm sorry. Actually, what I'm thinking of doesn't exist actually, because
that's a conspiracy.
No, because I was watching Moist Critical, and he said didn't Ed Sheeran buy his entire neighborhood or something, so he can relive living there.
And that's one thing that pisses me off when celebrities act like normal people. I worked here for a day, and I found it quite fun.
Yeah,
I remember.
I think that's why people turned on Ed Sheeran so fast, because once he became okay, it's been fucking 10 years since you've
from humble beginnings,
since you've been in your humble beginnings of sleeping on a couch. Which, by the way, I looked into it. He did technically sleep on a couch, but that was because he worked so hard in his studio. And I'm like, that's fair. That he worked. I mean, and that's his early times. And he left his house, and it's I really appreciate how much he worked in his early life. But now it's just I mean, okay, I think he's still very talented as a songwriter. I don't like his new songs, but they still connect with people, so I guess I can't knock it completely.
I enjoyed Bad Habits.
Bad Habits need to poopy.
He did a version of that with Bring Me the Horizon.
Did it sound better?
Yeah. I mean, guitars, drums.
Oh, that's better, I guess. Because that new album...
He's running out of math symbols. He's gonna.
Yeah, what the fuck is it called?
Next album's gonna be called Square Root.
What's the new one called? Is that called Addition?
Subtract, Division, Multi. I don't know.
Okay,
hey, Google,
whatever.
What's the name of Ed Sheeran's new album?
CIAN's latest album is Equals, Tour Edition.
Equals.
I don't think that is correct.
Yeah,
Because that's
because
the tour album. Thank you, Google.
whatever.
Fact
It's
check.
still probably equals, though, isn't it?
I will do a fact check. Because that's important. That just reminds me, another thing is about these new recorded episodes is I can't...
Oh, it's minus. It's minus. That's his new one.
But yeah, with these new recorded episodes, I can't really like cut out the audio in between. They're just going to be long-ass takes.
Oh, yeah, true.
You get to see the boring parts like this. Jim, wake up. You have work to do.
Wake up, samurai. Wake the fuck up,
We
poopy
got a
eye.
city to burn.
Um,
Albums.
you could probably still cut some of this, right?
See,
mean,
that'd be extra work in the audio
Just
version.
do. Okay, in fairness, although I know how to fix that in the audio version, right? Do this.
It's
This
equals.
easy, simple trick. Ray William Johnson's transition slide.
Your favorite Martians back.
Yeah, I know your favorite Mario. What isn't that like such a cool transition? We talk about transition to MyChem. Back to MyChem. We're talking about MyChem again.
Another transition.
No,
This
no.
sponsor.
No,
Pay us
no.
money. But yeah,
The sponsor, you
you can
are
be the sponsor.
Sponsor me. No,
I'm just opening up our Anchor app here,
Okay.
and I'm noticing that the money is still 0. Come on, guys.
yeah. Just so you know, we're not corporate shills.
You know, I
you
know
don't
we're
have to donate.
I know we're busy people, and this is a very irregular show, but pay us money.
But you don't have to donate.
No, that's just a feature that was added. It's funny to joke about, but
Yeah.
we do this for fun.
Yeah,
and now you
bro.
can see how it is. Like I said, it's not usually this bright.
Yo, we actually do this in pitch black. We actually can't see each other normally.
We actually don't record together.
Yeah,
What
we're
else do
yeah.
we do with this?
We actually aren't. This is just really good, like split screen, or what's it called? Oh, it's the scene from Kick-Ass.
Yeah, the strobe scene.
Use the cryptid light.
Oh god, the police are here. There we go. I'm in trouble with the law. Oh god. I just want the colors. I just want the colors. That's too fast. Oh god, it's worse. There we go.
Okay.
There's your bisexual lighting there. All the colors.
All the colors over me.
Oh yeah.
We didn't really talk. I mean, should Orphan Tears 2?
Yeah, everyone was long awaiting that. The thing is,
What a weird thing to do. By the
and the thing is, it's because it was one of their most popular ones. And the thing was like, new art style done by Ray.
well, they don't. I mean, the company they used last time is dead.
Yeah, but he's doing it himself now.
I mean, in fairness, I don't mind. I'm like, cool, man. If you do it yourself, that's actually pretty legit. Talking about the things that doing yourself, Bo Burnham released another hour.
Oh yeah, it felt like another, like, I want an extended version of Inside now with all the extra stuff, because like in this the hour-long one, it was more of a look at his mental side that wasn't really in the original version of Inside.
Although, mental side.
Well,
the
like,
entire,
yeah, he had his moments, but
yeah, true.
but this one is him literally sitting talking like it's been so long, nothing's being done. I think I'm just going to end it because I just don't want to do it anymore. I can't keep making an ending.
Yeah,
But man,
true.
spider hiding in the corner. That one caught me off guard.
I like the what people are referring to as the Joe Rogan sketch.
Oh yeah,
where-
the podcast. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast where we talk about no holds bars. We say whatever the fuck we want. It's like, well, that was gay. Wait, are we allowed to say that? I don't know.
But it was interesting because it was inside, but it felt different inside. Like it showed more.
It showed more clips that were like,
Again,
I mean,
more behind the
obviously,
scenes.
do make sense why they're out of the entire final product. Although, I don't know. Some songs are fucking awesome, so I don't know.
5 years. The relationship one was great.
Yeah. That's like that's the one I'm like, how is that not in it? That's like
Because the one I'm living in the future, the opening one. It was like he's releasing the deluxe, the version of Inside tomorrow, so all them songs are going to be in it.
attached to it. Yeah.
But I love that like it opened with like him pressing record on the camera and walking to each of the clips in Inside. But it was cool to see.
Yeah.
Like it just is like, imagine, like I understand why it'd be too much as one big thing. The fact that it was demonetized as well, like just anyone to watch.
Yeah, I think why I that was the other thing I liked Inside. I like that 1 hour of extra content so much. I was like, I want to rewatch Inside because it's been a very long.
Fantastic.
It's just a great watch. I mean, yeah, I don't laugh as much as I did the first time. It's just me liking the songs. The second time watching it around, I just really like the songs. I think he's a phenomenal, like, songwriter.
Not to mention all the visuals he did by himself.
Oh yeah, it's really just, it puts you in awe for the most part.
Because like the thing what Inside did to me was, it made me realize it's like, oh, I want to make stuff by myself. And then after making one short film by myself, I was like, this is fucking tough.
Yeah.
Because like me
it's tedious
understanding
as shit.
Just literally moving the camera, setting up the lights. Because mind you, he'd have a bigger budget than I would, so he'd be able to buy like the big tungsten lights. But it's just every single thing practicing. Because like I'm still practicing with this camera, and that's like a proper camera. So with him, just because I liked that you see the process go, learning the songs, writing the songs, and just as it goes on, it gets simpler. Like fucking Problematic.
Yeah.
That is a hell of a segment of Inside.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
80s inspired.
You see, God, Problematic's so fucking funny. But I like in the extra hour of content, you see, I can't remember which song he was working on. I think it was no, it wasn't. It wasn't "Look at Me" or what's that song called again? Witness Me, or
I can't remember. All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me.
There's
Yeah,
a different version.
I don't think it was that song he was doing. I think it was "Welcome to the Internet" he was doing. But
All the Takes.
All the takes, and one of them he's just like fuck, because I think he fucked up a lip sync or something.
Yeah, it was interesting seeing all the songs, but he had put all the different takes on the screen, and you see them all going.
But we don't know if it's all of them. I think if it was all of them, I think there would be a lot more fuck ups on.
Because like I said, with the more mental side, is you see his frustrations in this extra hour.
Yeah.
Of him not knowing what to do, and the fact like most of these songs were written so early. Like the final song was written when he had short hair. Well, shorter hair. Yeah. Just a different version of like The Room on Fire.
Yeah.
It's like, it kind of makes you question like how much of Inside was planned and how much was it that he went along with.
Yeah.
Because if he had all these songs, it's like, I know in one of the bits in the extra hour, he had the whiteboard. I didn't really stop to watch it because I wanted to watch the thing, but he had like all the notes. Like, is everything just planned? Like, is it just the tedium of it?
Yeah, I mean, what you call it? Most of Inside's what you call it? When I rewatched it, I don't think he had the first song when he had short hair was going to be the last song. Yeah, it was going to be the last song, but yeah, he's just made. Oh man, I got a gush about that funny feeling or whatever
that funny feeling.
Yeah, that's
done in 8K resolution meditation. That's such a. He won a Grammy for All Eyes on Me, actually.
All Eyes on Me, really?
Yeah, he won a Grammy for it. But like,
I guess that's a good song. I always forget how, because every time I listen to All Eyes on Me, and even when I rewatched it, like literally like a few days ago, I was like, this is like I mean, it's kind of like a diss at well, not really Kanye. Actually, no, I don't think it is, because
like
he did a bit against Kanye.
The end of what? No, Make Happy.
Was not what?
No, it was Make Happy. Where,
Make Happy.
Where he pretty much announces he quits. Cause like Bo Burnham is an interesting one to follow and how he started, because he's the original YouTube celebrity. A lot of people don't realize that he was one of the first people to get like famous off YouTube.
Fred
Frigglehorn.
Fred.
Like
Smoosh.
I tried to rewatch Words recently, and I forgot how edgy it was. How like shocking.
Yeah, Words is so old at this point that it's just not I don't think it's a fun watch. No, even when I first watched it, because I watched What first, and then when you go back to Words.
What was so absurd that everything was so strategic and everything. Like, it wasn't stand up, and the songs were great, but it's just the bits in between. He meant to knock the water over. Yeah,
I think because again, when you watch his later stuff first and then you kind of go back, you can kind of see a regression.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's like, if I was to tell. Like, I mean, I wouldn't really tell anybody to watch words first.
And
I
it's
think
hard to
I think I would tell them to start, like, maybe just start with what, because that's where the character arc starts. Because when people watch what,
we think we know you.
We
think we know
you. That's like, he instantly talks about like people who fan over him, and
anxiety.
Then
you love the idea of me.
Yeah, and then with make funny, it's make happy. I funny memes.
I have a gun. I'm gonna get it.
But yeah, make happy.
I think I was fucking joking. Say it wrong one more time and I will fucking kill you. It's funny we can do jokes like this now.
Make money.
It's not a real gun, or is it?
This isn't America. But what you call it? Yeah, with make happy. Right?
Yeah, make happy.
Okay, make happy.
It's okay. It's okay.
But with make happy, that wasn't that like all about like how
performance anxiety.
Yeah, performance anxiety, and then with inside, he was like, I think I'm ready to do it again.
Then
and
the pandemic happened. And he's like, no, I'm not. Because how deep the thing is, it's easier for us to do this because we forgot the camera is recording. Let's be honest.
But I think inside was like a different type of performance anxiety, where it was like, at least when you're on stage, you get feedback instantly from the audience.
This one, he doesn't know if it's funny or not.
Yeah, because he even says it in the thing where it's just like, usually when you're a part, you get like feedback and you can
people
kind of
are laughing or not.
Yeah.
Let me try to do something funny. He's like, but just with the silence, because that's what I was saying. Like with this podcast, it's us two just talking to each other, and now we have a new element of video, which is just to see us talking.
Yeah.
But just knowing from myself of like wanting to like test short films and make stuff. I did one by myself.
Yeah.
And it was just exhausting. And the thing is, like, one of the main downsides to this camera is it's not made to be a vlogging camera, but you can't see the screen. But just with him, just constantly having to move it and test and test and test. Like, I know how long testing can take. So I mean, listen to the first few episodes of this podcast. It sounds a bit rough at the start, but as we go on, like even now, we used to wear headphones to monitor the audio.
Yeah.
But now I know what to set the levels here to.
And I know like comments that are saying you're a level audio and you're shit. We haven't actually got any on. No. Thank God we haven't reached that part. And
we still do have a healthy amount of listeners, which is good at least.
On Spotify.
That's not the point. Though. Like the point is, it's just a fun.
No, well, I need listeners. I need people.
Remember when we said we were joking about paying us? Pay us.
No. I mean, I really use this thing as like a journal.
Yeah,
almost.
It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, because it keeps you up. It keeps like, well, one like if, I can imagine listening to this, like, 20 years down the line and being like, wow, I was there at that point.
Yeah, and like I went to see my cam and now it's all coming back to me.
Yeah, and so I like using this thing as like a journal, to be honest, as for the most part. Yeah,
because something big could happen. Because I know that like when I submit this short film, and if it does well, it's something I'm going to be talking about. If something happens with you, it's something you're going to want to talk about, and it's just a fun thing because like we do have a lot in common, so it is nice to surge back and forth, and like being creative is.
Oh, they can actually see my scratch my cock now. Sorry, I just had to bring that up. I like this. I know this is also going on to. Yeah, sorry. I also know this is going on to Spotify, so it's gonna just be funny.
Maybe you'll
people
have to
like
see the full version to YouTube to see him scratch his cock, or will that be paid exclusive content? OnlyFans? But
maybe Patreon.
Maybe Patreon. But like being creative, as you know, is tough, and it's why I resonate a lot with Inside, because like seeing him force himself to be creative in order to get this thing done, it's miserable because it takes the fun out of it.
And also contract-wise, you have to do it.
Legally contracted. Because, like, I know animation, as you know, it's a fucking nightmare. The short film was a different kind of nightmare. It was a fun nightmare, but it was just one where it requires so much work and so much people that you kind of forget it's supposed to be for fun.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, with this, the most work I have to do is just re-listen to it and make slight edits.
It's the worst. Oh my god, I worked. There was like a project I worked on where I did a music video.
Oh,
I
cool.
liked that song when I first worked on it.
By the end of it.
By the end of it, and by the way, that animation is not complete. It's like, I think out of a complete animation, I've got like 10 seconds or not even, probably
how long did that
15 seconds. Well, a lot of fucking time, like a lot. I think it was like months of work, but that, like, and by the way, 15 seconds of finished animation, and then the other minute or so is just of like quick frames, like
animatics,
like kind of animatic type things. Yeah, I like that song when I first
Now
like
you can't
did
listen to it.
Well, I can still listen to it if I'm in the mood, but like at one point I adored it. Now I'm like, oh yeah, that
Memories.
song, I liked it, but like I listen to it way too fucking much.
Because it'd be fun to get a career being creative, but it's not as easy as people think. Especially in Ireland, where they've no aid for anyone wanting to be creative.
Even though it is one of, well, I know animation's one of the fastest growing markets.
Especially in Ireland, like not even just like when you think animation, you think like.
But
cartoons.
I think when they say that, I think it's like well, actually no, it is one of the fastest growing industries. I mean, animators are in high demand constantly, and then and there's like fucking 10 studios just in Dublin.
Because people, when they think of animation, they think of like 3D animation, 2D animation. What's VFX? What's like,
right, yeah. If you're going into CGI shit,
yeah, like that's just more advanced animation.
Yeah, I mean, VFX. One of the funniest things to come out of it was in The Lion King, where people thought it said like sex.
Oh yeah, I remember that when the thing went.
Yeah, but people were like, Disney were like, no, it means that
he's got an erection in Aladdin. Disney,
yeah.
There's a conspiracy. Disney conspiracies of subliminal messaging, like
No,
in that one with the mice.
He had an erection in. The priest had an erection in
Aladdin.
No,
That was not Aladdin. I'm pretty sure it was
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
It was Little Mermaid, because the character design of that priest, I think, looks identical to the father in Aladdin.
I can't remember the name of the movie, but it's the one with the two mice and they're on the seagull and flying down.
Rescuers Down Under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see a woman apparently
her
topless,
yeah,
or with her
topless,
boobies hanging out, and it's like, huh.
It's like one frame.
It's kind of funny though. It's
Yeah.
kind of like in Fight Club with the one still of it, that guy's big throbbing cock.
Throbbing cock. Yeah.
But it's just like inside it, like to a lot of creative people, they really resonated with it, because like I want to make films. I want to just make stuff. Like one of my favorite things in the world is just putting something on paper and bringing it to life, no matter what way. But it's just setting up the camera, experimenting with shot composition, setting up the lights.
Yeah.
Because even then, like after this, I could look at the footage and be like, I don't like the way the lighting is. But with this, I don't want to be like putting a light there, and a light there, and turning it into a proper studio.
Yeah. I think with working on projects and shit, especially for me, I think the most irritating thing is just working to get it done.
Yeah.
I think that's like the most thing is like you're always going to have to push yourself to just be like, get it done.
Yeah.
Like I love the beginning parts, and like even like
The dream,
yeah,
pre-production.
like I love, yeah, and well, even when I'm just starting to work on it, I do feel a sense of like I'm working on something.
Yeah,
It
something
feels
coming
nice.
to life.
But then when you get like when you get a thing that just doesn't work, and you're like
it's not
retrying
how
it
you
over and over and over again, like everything else is going smoothly, but this one thing is like pissing you off. It's like that's the part where I'm like, I gotta step back or some shit.
Because with me, like I'm such a get it done person. Like some people say, like I'm too tough to work with because I'm just get it done, and it's like maybe I do have a problem with like taking the fun out of it, because like I know when I switch to work mode, it's work at this point.
Yeah.
Like the project, like in pre-production, is all the ideas, but then with the actual development and actually shooting a project, it's like you have such a tight schedule, tight deadline,
Yeah.
money being spent, then I'm just thinking like it's not about me, it's about everyone else here.
Yeah.
And then just trying to get the edit done, because right now with this project I'm feeling fairly comfortable because pretty much all the sound recordings are done, and all that's left to be done is just putting the sounds in, putting the Atmos tracks in, which is just kind of like the background noise, mixing them up, making a bit of music, and the project's done.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's a melancholy when you make a project, as you know, where it's just like, it's done, now what do I do?
Yeah.
Which is just that temporary distraction, because it's being productive is fun, but at the same time, procrastination is another thing where it's like, you kind of realize how much you enjoy it, but just it's when you mix work with enjoyment, it's what kills most projects.
Yeah.
Because like I know now with this camera that during the summer I want to start doing professional work, I want to do freelancing, but it's like, am I doing that because I want to enjoy it as a hobby or because it's just work?
I mean, once a hobby becomes a work, it's like that's a jump. It can be an exciting jump because then you're like, yeah, I'm finally doing stuff, even though you know yourself it'll now become work and now it'll become a source of income and shit like that. The biggest
fear is you grow to resent it.
Yeah.
Because I remember I had that resentment for a while towards filmmaking because it happened during the pandemic.
Yeah.
When I was starting to get my footing, I was starting to get the confidence, but then that just run in with that one bad client kind of killed it all.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like, as you know, at college, they give you the tools on how to do this, but they don't tell you how to do it.
Well, my college, we went to the same college.
Yeah.
I just got better teachers, I think, because I was told how to do it, and yeah, they were very restrictive in what my ideas should be.
That was
although actually no, I actually no, not restrictive. Sorry, that's the wrong word. Because my teachers especially were very, very, very nice about how open they could make that project for me, and I was like, this is very nice. A lot of projects were very open. I think the one thing I really just disliked about my college was just paperwork, but that's just paperwork in general that I dislike.
Remember, like, I'll be honest with you, I've unlearned everything I was taught in the college, because just everything they taught it didn't feel right. It just wasn't the best way to do it.
I didn't necessarily unlearn everything, but there's a lot of shit I did unlearn because I use, for a completely different reason, I use different programs
and just different
than what
techniques.
Well, no, techniques from what I've learned in college, I still use today, but tech, like, it's I think the biggest thing is that, for me anyways, is that college kind of gave me like really good professional shit.
Yeah.
And then when it came to me in my room and shit, I was like,
you can't separate it.
Yeah, well, mainly because when it was me in my room, I'm not paying like 15 grand, like 15,000 or not 15,000, like 1,500 euro to like get this one program into my house and then like animate off
At
that.
that point, you can just learn it yourself.
Yeah, okay. I will, again, that's another exaggeration. An animation program does cost a lot. They're like, there's one for like Toon Boom or something that costs like 600 or something like that for like the full version, and it's like and that's what we used in college. And
with college, they try to force you into certain things, because like I know with me, one of the reasons why I dropped out in year 2 was we were just watching YouTube videos, instead of getting the hands-on practical, because I know that they redid the film course. Like the new first years that year were doing an entirely different course, and they were just running around with cameras, and they like Premiere Pro, it is a staple, but it's so restrictive. And like I said, I pretty much learned everything up myself. Like, this is like my studio here.
Yeah.
Like, I have all the tools needed. I have monitors, I have 2 speakers, a display that has true colors, a powerful PC, all the equipment. Like, you don't see it now, but it's what I learned myself. And I'm like, how come I'm better equipped now than that college was? Because like, it's a weird thing.
Let's see, that's a weird thing. I still think I'm under-equipped. I mean, obviously, because I didn't pay as much money as you have to get to this point, but like, and I also didn't start working like proper till like a few,
enough.
yeah, but yeah, but I'm under equipped, but I would still say, again, our college experience were completely different, and you had like a different type of class that was just taught so apparently wrong. But we did we had so many physical projects. We also had a lot of written projects I fucking hated, and I despised them. And also in projects, we were told to write down everything we did each day, and I'm just like, come on, what do you want me to say? And like they say, you can't actually write the same thing over and over again. I'm doing the same thing over and over again. It's animation. It's tedious. It's, what did you do today? I drew like 16, 17 drawings and
of the same fucking arm going up and down.
And they're like, yeah, but you gotta like change up the wording. I was like, I don't give two shits. This is what I did. I don't want to change this.
I remember one of our lecturers, he'd give out to us, because like on a camera there's a setting called ISO, which is kind of like camera sensitivity, and usually you kind of want that to be as low as possible for a cleaner image. But if the room is kind of dark, you can turn it up and turn on noise reduction. And I remember he gave out to us, mind you, like he didn't really teach us how to use shutter speed correctly or just how a camera works. So we were adjusting brightness the wrong way, because like with cameras, if you're doing shutter speed, it has to be double your frame rate. So if you're shooting at 24, which is an average, you should be shooting at 148. If you're like doing, it's different with shutter angle because it's 180 degrees, but that's a different thing. But it's just how I was exposing was I was turning, if it was too bright, I was turning down the shutter speed, and that creates a weird motion and not that smooth cinematic one. And with lighting, he was like 3-point lighting, which is pretty much a light behind you and 2 lights in front, but it doesn't create any contrast. It's just a welded scene. Instead of like here, I have one light shining here at this part of my face, and it's causing a shadow, and there's a little bit of light here, which is the most basic cinematic lighting. It's just most of the stuff I've learned about filmmaking that got me to the quality has been in this fucking room. So bringing it back now, hey? So watching Bo Burnham learn it all in his own time, it's like, I understand how that feels.
Also, that's the thing with backlighting, isn't it? Like, everything looks better with backlighting.
Yeah, just a rim light going here. Like, mind you, we're just partially lit here, because again, I don't want to turn this into a studio where it just feels artificial. I added one extra light just to put some light on me. Yeah,
I watched, what's it called? That Corridor Digital, like CGI artist react, and like they showed a Titanic scene, and it's all shot in one shot, but the lighting changes because it's like a what's it called, a dynamic camera movement. So it's like it's moving down the entire ship, but the ship is it starts from like it basically does a ginormous semicircle kind of turn. So, but there's always backlighting. So there's backlighting when the camera's here. Oh, this doesn't make sense audio wise. Fuck it. This is hard to explain audio wise.
We have a camera now.
Yeah, I don't know. Nah, fuck it. I won't explain it if it's going to
pretty much
annoy.
It's like a sun is constantly following you from behind, and it's just it's not right.
Yeah. But although, who gives two shits if it looks cool, right?
Yeah, that's another thing, is because we have a peek behind the scenes, we're more perfectionists. Like, a lot of stuff people can look over, like, yeah, cool. Whereas we're just like, it doesn't look right. That's kind of half the fun and half of the troubles with being creative, is you have a peek behind the curtain and you know how everything works and you know how it should work. Yeah. And sometimes like, why isn't it working? Which is why like I admire, because like with me, given the compensation of the entire setup, like I'm a perfectionist when it comes to like making my stuff. Yeah. That if I can't do it because I don't have a certain thing, I will wait. It's like with this lens here, like this is a cine lens for the visual listeners, and like the reason why I got it is literally because of these markings on the side here, because it gives you accurate reasons, gives you T-stops. It's just a nice lens to use, and I'm just like, I had a lens that's literally the exact same.
Now imagine if that was a coffee cup.
Fucking hate
have you seen those though? Yeah. The coffee cup camera lens. It's so fucking bizarre.
Because like, I'm in a weird state with this camera because I spent 4 years with the other one. I barely know how to use it, and it's frustrating me. Oh yeah. But it's a good kind of frustration. Like I know how to use it, but it's just once I load it into the editing software, I don't know.
That was the other thing. I recently started animating again.
That's good.
Yeah, and oh man, it's been a long while. I've been busy on other shit. And anytime I did draw, it wasn't on my animation software. So when I finally got into my animation software, I totally forgot how frustrating. And the animation software that I use was out of date, so I updated it, and then the exporting and importing shit was so fucking frustrating to get. Like, I had to like delete and reinstall like not a version of the what's it called, I can't remember. There's a certain thing that I installed to install the entire software. I had to uninstall it and then reinstall it, and then God, it was so fucking annoying. I can't describe how much annoying it was. I basically had to image sequence it, which image sequencing is when you take an animation and you're exporting it as a bunch of fucking pictures. So it's taking pictures of all the frames, and then you're importing it into, like, what I use is Filmora. Which I think Filmora is fucking awesome. It's just very,
I know
not hashtag not ad, but but like, unless you want to advertise, that'd be pretty
Filmora?
epic. Yeah, Filmora, but it was. It's just very easy to use. It shows you everything. All the icons in it aren't like, you know, the way in some like softwares you get icons that are like, what the fuck is that?
I mean,
like, what the fuck does that mean?
That camera is so easy to use because it's all touchscreen. All the menus are on the top of it, and anything you can touch, you can change the setting.
Yeah.
That, like, user interface is important.
Yeah, and then so Filmora was very easy to use. That's like, I never have a problem just importing like images and stuff. Again, the most annoying thing with my software at the moment, especially the animation software, I might be getting a new one, because god fucking damn it, I hate this new updated version of what I have. So I might just get another one. I'm using a free one. It's called OpenTunes. It's not like the best, like, even from when I look at it from I'm trying to learn. I'm teaching myself how to use Blender at the moment.
Yeah,
so,
I have Blender installed, and it's intimidating.
Yeah, it's, oh god, I'm going through so many fucking YouTube tutorials, and I
3D,
mean
2D.
Yeah, a lot of it is 3D, and I'm just like, no, just teach me 2D shit.
I don't want to sculpt.
Yeah, I don't. Although sculpting is fun, it's very fun.
Which
Although
reminds me,
sometimes
did you watch Chip
like,
and Dale?
not yet. I have to.
Okay, that's for the next episode.
Yeah, and then, but basically, yeah, my animation software at the moment is fucky, and I hate it because every time I have to export, I have to image sequence it, and when I image sequence it into Filmora, I know when you put it in, you can stop this from happening, but I'm so pissed off by the entire, like, I've been on it like I think 2 days ago, and I got so pissed off with it. I was like,
quit?
Yeah, so I just put it down for a bit. So, but basically, when you import image sequences, you can sometimes, your computer can sometimes either recognize that, oh, this is going to be an image sequence, so it gives you an option to click image sequence once you select all these pictures, or even just the first picture, which the first picture should be just called 1, and then the rest of them should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Just have some sort of marker showing.
Yeah. So 1, and then once you click it, it should be like, oh, we see this can be image sequence. Do you want that? And then you click it, and then when imported, it'll already be turned into a video, basically, or like basically a video. So it's like, okay, so that's like completed. But with Filmora and image sequencing, again, I think if I had Premiere, it probably would recognize it easier. But with Filmora, sometimes it doesn't.
But subscription softwares are just...
Yeah, again, subscription shit. I'm like, I don't want to pay.
Although
I don't want to pay, but I do donate to the things I use. Like,
it's open source.
Yeah, because it's like I do want these things to be updated and like be bettered for me, for my experience. So I do donate if I want to.
Because the company Blackmagic that make that camera, they're a really good company because they make fantastic budget-friendly cinema cameras, but they're also the ones behind DaVinci Resolve, which is a really good editing software.
Yeah.
It's mainly used for color grading Hollywood standards, and they have a free version which is powerful, but then they have a paid version that you only pay for once, and you get lifetime. Like, it's about $300.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same with Filmora, isn't it? Yeah.
And you get updates for life. But if you buy any of their cameras, it comes packaged with the software. So not only are you getting a phenomenal editing camera, you're also getting the editing software with it.
Yeah.
So technically, you're paying like $800 for the camera and like $300 for the software.
Oh wow, that's nice.
So it comes with all the tools.
Yeah.
Because it's a good ecosystem to get into, because the user interface on that camera, if I got like one of the bigger cinema cameras, the UI is the same. It's like picking up just a bigger version of the camera.
Oh, that was the other thing. See, I wish I didn't like stay away from animation for a bit too. I've stayed away from it a bit too long. Now all my junk that I have at the moment is kind of like malfunctioning a little bit.
Ooh.
Where my tablet that I have, it's still good. It's still in use. I still use it all the time. Just everything. This is just a problem with sensor wise. When you press down, it creates. You can change your brush and stuff on
Different
like animations.
styles,
To if you press harder, the dot will get bigger, and if you're light with it, it'll get really small.
But it's just what's the difference?
Yeah. So my my tablet at the moment is not recognizing touch sensitive shit, and I'm too frightened to push down hard
pressure,
because I'm going to get like, then my tablet's going to get like dead
sensitivity
dead
areas.
Pixels, basically.
Dead pixels, yeah.
Dead pixels in the thing, because you're basically poking at it like constantly. So I'm afraid to like I probably should have got like a simpler brush or like a tablet thing, not with a screen.
Just one of the ones where it's just a pad.
Yeah. Because
at the same time, it's nice to have.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the tablet is really nice because I can just like lie back in my chair and just be like drawing, it's doodling in a book. But if I had like a thing, I have to look at the screen and be like, it's kind of a nuisance in that sense. But yeah, so I'm happy with my tablet. It's just the problem is the sensor doesn't always work. I mean, I say it doesn't always work is because, again, I think that tablet is used mainly for what's obvious to being used is
watching videos, listening to music, playing games.
No, not the tablet. That's my yeah. Sorry, the tablet would be mainly used for like your basic shit, like so Adobe shit,
Photoshop and whatnot.
Photoshop and what's it called? The big animation programs like Toon Boom or again, I'm learning Blender, and I think Blender it recognizes Blender as a good touch sensitive thing. But the two animations, like the animation software I use is OpenToon, and I have another one, I can't remember what the fuck it's called. But just my drawing programs, I use Kirta. Kirta is
Krita or Kirta?
Krita. Oh, it might be
Krita.
Yeah. That I do like it a lot. It just doesn't recognize my touch sensitive thing, which is kind of
frustrating because then that's a bunch of features that are just handy.
Yeah. I mean, it has so many good brushes, and again, I might just pick up just a new tablet. I mean the one I'll probably still use my tablet when I know I'm using block colors and
it's nice to have
like a same.
That's one thing that I do a lot of is like I treat the equipment as tools because they're supposed to be there to help. Like, yes, it's nice to use the best of, but sometimes it's not the best solution.
Yeah.
Because like, I have a nice spanking new camera, but sometimes my other camera's going to come in handier.
Yeah. I think I like my programs, but I think I am getting a bit too attached because they do have their flaws. And
Sentiment, yeah. I have a lot of sentiment towards the other camera. Now that I have a new one, it feels weird
there's
going for that one and not the other.
Yeah, there's what you call it. Fuck. There's one that everybody, especially my class when I was in college, they recommended. Everybody was like, I think eventually got it, which was for a drawing software, which was I actually can't remember what the fuck it's called. It's pretty famous though, as far as I know, in the animation or in the drawing world. Fuck if I can't remember at the moment, but it's from what I can tell, if I am going to move away from Krita or Kirta, I'll probably use that, or I don't know. There's actually a good few, so it really depends on.
Because my final bit of advice for people who are creative is just try yourself. I know it's so intimidating. You'll watch YouTube videos recommend the best camera, the best like drawing tablet, but sometimes it's not about that. It's about making compromises. Like you could get a cheaper drawing tablet, but you can also get a nice stylus with it, or just the software. Same with cameras. Like it's a delicate line, but it's just finding your own ways and techniques and just experimenting with equipment instead of buying the top end.
Yeah, there's actually a really good video by a guy who does what's it called, rotoscoping animation.
Yeah.
Except it's a bit weird how he does it. Like it's the first time I've ever seen it done that way, and I'm just like, oh, okay, that's kind of smart. I mean,
new. It's different.
Yeah, I mean, so I think his name's Joel Harver or something like that. Hover. He recently he's just been doing nothing but moist critical skits, which is kind of funny. But I say kind of, they're really funny. But he has like great rotoscoping animations that are very fucking funny to watch. But he has a video on how he does it, and he basically just records himself doing whatever the fuck.
Yeah, which is
and
good.
Then, yeah,
it's
and
important to find your own techniques.
Yeah, and he tells people to, if you download this software, that's free. I think it's free anyways. Where he draws over one frame, and then the next subsequent frames, the computer will auto-analyze where those pictures were and what that they're trying to track. So he records himself doing like whatever the fuck kind of body movement he does, and then he draws over the first frame as what rotoscoping is drawing over people who are doing a movement of some sort, and then the computer would automatically process that into like, okay, so these lines are connected to this man's arm, so it'll try follow the arm, and he still puts in a lot of effort. That like, I mean, I think a lot of people would look at that and be like, that's kind of like cheating in a sense of in the classical way.
But if it helps,
true. But like it's like these weird things in animation that don't make a lot of really sense. It's kind of like old-fashioned things.
But it's just if you try to do the same old and not develop your own style, because that's how styles are made. Yeah, breaking you have to know the rules.
Yeah,
to break them.
But well, see, I don't think anybody hates him for doing it. Like, I don't think people are open.
There's probably some purists.
Probably, but there's always purists in every platform and stuff like that. But basically, what I'm referring to when I say like, especially in the purist sense in animation, there's especially so a classic animator who's known for Western style animations. Not a lot of them actually like Japanese animations, not like mainly for the fact that what they do, they hold a picture, like they hold a picture in place, like hold a frame. That's what. So the guy's they're not animating technically. They're just putting a few frames of a guy just blankly staring, and classic animated Western cartoons, especially classic people. One of my teachers hated it because she was like, it's kind of like lazy in a sense. And don't get me wrong, Yes, it is. I mean, if you're looking back in time to, or like how Western animation is done, not now anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of a combination of Western and Japanese animations where everybody holds frames and stuff. But yeah, sorry, back to my point. I'm going on a tangent. But my teacher was like, it holds frames and stuff, and it's, and yes, they do that. Japan does that mainly for the fact they did that out of necessity, really, because I think Japan, when anime was like a thing, I think it was profitable, but it was kind of like how old cartoons were made, like Transformers and stuff,
Not
or
to mention
He-Man.
like all the classic Disney movies where they reuse scenes, just mask them with new characters.
I will always fight this point with Disney. When they reuse animations, they're not reusing animations in the easy way. What people keep saying,
No,
it is not easy.
They still have to draw them, don't they?
Yeah, but like, yeah, they're basically so. Like, I can't remember, like. So I think there's like, it's just like false information of just people saying like, this is like Disney went back and reused animations. It's like, back then you can't just reuse animations.
It's not digital.
Yeah, they're all cell animated, so they're all like drawn on paper and stuff. So what they did was more expensive and more like out of their way to do. Like, to say it was lazy is incorrect.
And the thing is, you wouldn't even notice until someone pointed it out.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you wouldn't. Not to the layman, anyways. Nobody would like. Well, for one, nobody's going to watch The Jungle Book and then the Aristocats.
And be like,
yes, like, wait, I've noticed that. That's the same animation. Like, no, nobody's going to do that. But unless you're an animator and you just notice it. But
like I said, behind the curtain, we know.
Yeah, but even then, you would have to watch film back to back. Even if you are an animator, you would have to watch it back to back.
Like, very unlikely.
Because one, they're different character designs as well, right? One's a bear and one could be a chicken, and like they're just doing the same dance move. But why it was more expensive and what is because Disney had to go back into their vaults to get the old cells from when Walt Disney was alive to draw up. And okay, back then that was the dark ages of Disney. So Walt Disney was been dead for like not even like 5 years.
He's in cryo. They still have to take him out.
So they basically opened up like the Disney vaults and took out old cells and drew over old cells, which is a lot of work because those vaults, Disney's vaults, are
extensive,
humongous. I mean, by the time this was after the time Walt Disney died, I think at that time they had like 42 movies,
which is
and they were all
frames.
cell animated and drawn. Like, you would have to be very specific on where those animations
and not even
were.
Taking them out but putting them back correctly.
Yeah, that's the other thing. A lot of the old cell cell drawings back then are now destroyed, because once you kind of take drawings, especially in those old cell papers, out of like this protective like shit that like they put into the vaults with, it's you putting it back into natural like things that are going to like damage
like
the paper and the light.
UV rays destroying.
Yeah, so even when you put it back, like now they'd probably be destroyed. I mean, a lot of them are destroyed.
Maybe they have digital archives. Who knows?
Okay, in fairness, actually, a lot of Disney's archives are destroyed anyways because of a fire that happened.
Yeah.
But they've had a couple of fires, to be honest. I mean,
sounds a bit sussy-wussy.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the most sussy things, well, it's not really, was the animation, The Thief and the Cobbler, which, maybe we should talk about that another time, because I think we've talked.
Yeah, 2 hours and 1 minute.
Yeah, this is a long episode. I'll probably talk about The Thief and the Cobbler next episode. I love that movie. If I was to recommend the movie, it is one of the best animated films ever, and it's incomplete. I think it's one of the best, and it's incomplete. It's not even finished. Mainly for the fact the creator of it, he died before he could finish it. People tried to finish it for him. Disney took it, bought like all the frames and shit that he made for it, and then oops, a fire happened. They're all gone. People were like, oh shit. Most of the animation and the plot the guy who originally made it wanted to do with it is still there. So people are like, oh, we could probably still do it. Don't know where that project is now.
But that wouldn't be the point of it, though, would it?
Well, no. So his whole point and his whole philosophy was, the best animations are done on ones. So you're like, in animation, you hold what's it called? You hold a frame for like 2, right? Like you hold frames for 2, and then you go on to like the 3rd frame, hold it for 2 again. The 5th frame, hold for what? Yeah, and then but what he did, he animated frame by frame, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He did everything like that, all drawn, all backgrounds drawn. It's a lot of work. He's known as the master. Like he says he's mastered animation, which a lot of people do agree with that he has, because he's so talented. He even made
Bold
a book
statement as well.
Yeah, he even made a book called The Animator's Survival Guide, which I am not joking, every animator uses. Like, if you look up online, it is the Bible for animators. It is like, it teaches everything you need to know, and it's not just 2D. And this book is like old as shit. It's not just 2D. It basically depicts every animation, like, on how to do movement and how to understand movement,
make it fluid and just flow and everything,
and different types of animation and different movements. Like, he did a walk cycle, and he's like, okay, there's this walk cycle, but like, he shows you different varieties on how that walk cycle can change and how it differs.
Just
and
add a character to it, like,
yeah, and it's like, this is how you do it. You just don't want a normal stance, and it's like, and this obviously this entire animation book, or like the Animator's Survival Guide, moves on to other things like CGI and like 3D animation. It's so integral to an animator's life, especially an early animator's life, of just trying to understand things.
So who fucking needs college then, am I right?
I mean, with that book, that book's expensive as shit. Although, okay, I say expensive, it's not really. It's quite accessible. I saw it in a bookstore one day. I was just like, and we went to Chapters. Was it Chapters?
Is that the one on Parnell Street?
Yeah. Me and my college friends went to Chapters. One of my college friends wanted to buy that book specifically. There were 2 of those books. I was like, oh, should I pick one up? And I didn't.
You have it.
Yeah, but I didn't. They did, and it's a big book. It's a fucking heavy book. But my God, I wish I picked it up, because I mean, I could buy it on Amazon for like probably even cheaper, maybe, probably not actually.
Fun is the hunt.
Yeah, but like seeing it in a bookstore is very nice, and it's just, yeah, probably should have bought it, but I didn't.
Oh well.
Yeah. MCR was good.
Isn't that right, John? John? Oh no.
What do you think of this, audience?
Like, comment, and subscribe, and go fuck yourself.